it's like to harvest your own fresh nettles? Well, if you stick around in this video, I'm definitely going to be sharing with you how you can do that and how you can eat nettle leaves straight from the plant without even getting stung. So if you love learning things like this, you want to know more about wild plants and wild crafting, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you know every time I have a new video out. I love teaching people about herbal medicine, and I can't wait to take you down the herbalist path because it's freaking fun. Awesome, so we are down by this river in a very, very luscious, nutritious hunk of earth that is really incredible, and I feel so blessed to be in. And there are so many little nettles growing around here. Right now they're going from like 2 inches to about 8 inches tops for these little babies. And we're just going to gather a couple of them to make something nutritious and delicious for our afternoon. But I figured this would be a really killer time to teach you how you could get real crazy if you want to. And you can harvest nettles without needing gloves. So this here is a nettle plant. And if you can look close, I'm touching this nettle plant right on top of this very dark leaf. And you can tell because the leaves are growing opposite and it has a squared stem. I'm not going to touch the stem because it's got these little fine hairs, which is where the nettle sting comes from. It's also hairy on the underside of the leaf, if you can see that there. Those little hairs and crystals have what's called formic acid in them, which is the same kind of stuff that like fire ants sting you with when they bite you. And it's known that they can help alleviate chronic pain and issues, say if you're somebody who has dealt with an old injury or something along those lines. You might want to try thwacking yourself with some nettles and getting that sting, dealing with that pain for the next couple of hours, and you could very likely get rid of the chronic pain you've been dealing with for 20 years. Anyways, here is what I am going to do. I'm going to grab the nettle leaf by the top, and then I'm going to come in right over the next set of leaves that I'm going to leave leaves, and I'm going to clip at an angle so that this plant can still grow up and flourish. Look at me, I have not been stung once, and if you want, I'll even show you, oh boy, how am I gonna grab you, Nettlebee? On another plant, how I can eat nettles right now. I'm going to gather from this plant also, so I don't just take this leaf in a disrespectful manner. But if you just simply fold it up and make a little pocket so all those hairs are inside, see? And you eat it. And you get this total dose of chlorophyll, some protein, some choline, some magnificent nutrients like magnesium and iron, and did I say calcium yet? Potassium, so many great things in nettles. It's so nourishing, and this tastes so fresh. It's awesome, and you should totally try it. So this is one of those days where I feel so incredibly blessed by nature and sunshine and my surroundings. I've got my beautiful nettle plant here. I'm amongst a patch of all kinds of nettles, because they're actually interconnected under the ground through their rhizomes and that whole system. So this is a really, really lovely patch. They're at a very young stage. So the nettles will come out late winter to early spring. They love this moist area. You can probably hear the river in the background of this video, and it's just heavenly. And knowing that I've got this incredibly nutrient-dense plant friend in abundance ready for me is one of the most beautiful blessings there is in this world. And this is nettles. And so maybe you're afraid of the sting, and you're like, oh, nettles are the worst, but really they're the best. If you're somebody who suffers from allergies, let me give you a tip. Try starting to take nettles nice and early, like before spring even. Maybe in February, if you know, like when the pollen comes out, you're just miserable and itchy. The nettles have a lot of histamine in them, and they can help fight those allergies for you. And they're just freaking awesome. And they're so nutrient dense. They're one of the most nutrient dense plants out there. Incredibly rich in protein, calcium, choline, magnesium, iron, chlorophyll, phosphorus. I could go down the list forever. Definitely one of your most nutrient dense plants for sure. You can take it home, you can blanch it, you can make a pesto with it, and I'll have a video for that stuff soon. You can do so much with nettles. They're also a fantastic diuretic. So a diuretic, it's just herb geek speak for meaning that it helps with the flow of urine. And that's one of our greatest ways to excrete waste from our bodies, so that can come in handy quite often. So yeah, these nettles are a great diuretic. They're gonna promote the flow of urine, which is a great way to excrete waste from your body. And that can come really in handy quite a lot. Let's say you have issues with kidney health. Nettles can be a really great friend to help clear out the uric acid crystals as well. They're phenomenal if you're somebody suffering from gout. It's gonna help clear out those kinds of things. If you've got edema or extreme swelling, nettles can come in handy in that realm. They're a great blood builder. They're just such a nutrient-dense friend. And they're generally regarded as safe. Of course, all herbs are different for every person, and you do want to work with a healthcare practitioner. But for the majority of humans, I'm gonna say get your nettles on. Like, go out, sustainably harvest. Do not take an entire patch. You want to clip at the top of the leaf like I showed you earlier in the video, or like where the leaves are coming out, so that that plant can continue to grow. And yeah, never harvest the whole area. Make sure when you're harvesting you're in a clean and lovely space, because these will absorb all the toxins. If you're, say, in an industrial area or inner city, may not be the place for you to harvest nettles or other plants for that matter. Yeah, get these friends on board. They're not so stingy. I've been hanging out in this patch for over 30 minutes now. Not a one sting. Get to know your plant friends. All right, so I love nettles so much, if you didn't gather that already. And I use them in a lot of my teas at Mountain Mel's. I use them in my Where Is My Mind for the mental clarity and focus. They're in all of my women's blends because they are phenomenal for the ladies. Super nutritious for pregnant women, nutritious for their babies as well. Helps to tonify the uterus and is really great in cases of like cramping and swelling of the uterus for PMS, things like that. So I use them in a lot of my teas. I'll definitely link to the teas that I use them in below this video. And if you are somebody who loves learning about using plants as medicine and living in tune with nature and learning how to find and sustainably harvest and gather these plants and make medicine with them, you should subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to The Herbalist Path, hit the little bell so you know when I have a new video out, and let's join together and make herbalism spread like wildflowers.